What's up, guys? Yeah. Man. I slept all day long today. I really need to get up and start getting ready to go to the fucking gym here a little bit. I gotta get all my shit ready. I drank all my crap from last time. Okay. Oh, man. Okay. Well, I'm gonna talk about some stuff that I'm gonna get a game going here in a little bit. Just wanna get on my. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely going to the gym today. I gotta do some exercises. I might do stuff here. I don't know yet. Ooh. Hold on. I'm gonna do this shit with Mark. Oh, people watch way too much political shit. Oh, everything's political, political this, political that, political this. Big old jerk off of political. I ain't joking. It's like every day I'll be sitting there thinking to myself, and I'm like, man, it's nothing but political. Is it about the other day, a couple days ago, not? I think it was Sunday. One of the ladies that I work with and that. She started bringing up Trump a little bit. Not anything too ridiculous. She's going, do you hear what Trump said about, you know, LeBron James being racist? I'm like, he probably is racist. I don't know. I don't know the fucking man. Why does it even matter? I mean, he ain't like Shaq. Shaq's actually legitimately a very nice fucking man. He's a multi, you know, he has hundreds of millions of dollars now. He's always giving shit away. He's always being extremely respectful, especially towards children. And they showed all the time. I see all the videos with Shaq. Every time a child comes up to him, he literally stops everything just to see the child. Just to show how respectful he is towards children. And that's a good man. And I don't give a shit what anybody says. You know, dude is like almost, I think he's close to 7 foot tall. Dude is like, he cares about children a lot because he just has that heart. Same thing with Michael Jordan, you know, a lot of people like that, they deeply fucking care. LeBron James was set up because of Michael Jordan and Shaq. That's why he got into it. And he's not even the best fucking player, because he loses a lot too. Probably in his early years he was good in that, but there's always people that come up against him. There's always someone that's going to be better. That's just how life is. You know, we can't stop that. But the whole deal is that people can say whatever they want to say. It's just when people say like the hate speech thing that was going on during like since when Biden was in, social media was really poison. I was like, you know what, get off social media. I mean, you could talk stuff in that. Like I stream in that, you know. I talk about Jesus and that, you know. They're never gonna stop that. You know, I wish they tried to, but they can't. They can't stop God's word from getting out. It doesn't matter what the fuck they do because they're not in control of anything. They can press pause on something and get rid of something, but they know damn well people are going to fight against it. And since they're greedy ass people and that, all these people are governed by wealth. If you take away their wealth, they cry like fucking little bitches. They're like, oh my god, I can't make my millions of dollars and I can't, financial all the hookers and cocaine I fucking do every day. That's what's the worst thing about being the center is when you take away certain things, when people actually have to fucking suffer, they literally fucking complain and cry about it. The reason why I say that is because when people say, oh, I have wealth issues and that, but how much money you get made? Okay, well, I don't like the work, though. That's why you have wealth issues. Well, that's not fair. It's like, well, the word fair means that you should make it fair for yourself by working hard. I got really to shake this shit up. I never tried out when it was warm. Brings it out. Okay. Yeah, what people always seem to like to say is, I always like to make everything easy, easy, easy. It's like, I don't want things to be fucking easy. There's people all over the world. Yeah, we'll play the new level. There's people all over the world that have it way harder than Americans and probably most European countries. But the thing of it is, they might have it harder, but you know what makes it funny? That they're overall just better fucking people when it comes down to it. Probably not all of them. Some are just retarded in that, they got a lot of issues in that. But nations that have
y'all know what, when, and how we're gonna do this, right? Good. Just
enough to get by and shit. It's a good thing, I don't believe that everyone should have the most technology and all that shit. And that technology's good. I think some people are a little too spoiled. I think Americans can be ridiculously fucking spoiled, and it fucking shows by how they act.
Let the turret do the
we want to say how great our country is, which it is, but it's because the people in the country is what makes it great. Yeah, it's the people in the country that make it great.
Got one!
When people sit there and play the game and that, it's like, oh, the country's great. The country's great because the people that built the fucking good thing. We didn't, like, millennials and Gen Zs didn't really do much of anything. I mean, when it comes down to it, millennials and Gen Zs didn't really do shit to build the country that we have. They did very little. And people can scream and shout, well, there's certain things, oh, little bits, yeah. Very little. Gen Xers and Boomers and the ones before the Boomers, they're the ones that established the country where it's at. And I can get certain things that people say, and that, I completely understand there's certain advancements that people do in that, it's a good thing, I wish the best for everybody. But to come to terms of reality, I hear like a lot of Gen Z people say it's like, oh, we're the best generation, and that it's like, no, you're the worst off generation. When you hear people say certain things, they get really offended by that. Say, what do you mean? It's like, we're the worst off generation. You're the worst off generation. Because you guys don't want to think that, almost everything has been given to you and all you're doing is working with what we got already. So, like, the Boomers and Gen Xers most likely made the bulk of all the technology that we have.
Closing time, shoppers. Pod's closed.
And you could definitely tell by the way they
Man, pass me some nose plugs. I'm adding you to my playlist.
I got a level 5, nice. Cool. These are like this. The second one, you have the way you can switch up your shit. That way you level up on that. I like that shit a lot. You said buy me my guns anyway. What do I want to get? 5-shot cylinders. Increases the damage. Man, I'm sorry, I got no fucking ammo in these damn guns. You start with so much ammo in here. But yeah, like, that's how we really have to look at it. Like, our age has been, we have already done the bulk of the shit that we need to do. There's very little stuff to do in our lives. Technology's boomed so fast, it's never gonna keep going.
That's it.
It's gonna
Pod's
go
now
up
closed.
and up and up and up and up. But eventually it's gonna slow down dramatically. That's what's happening now. There's been a dramatic fucking slowdown. I know a lot of people don't want to talk about that shit because they'll freak out about it and shit. Of course you will.
Half down, half to go.
Don't!
That sucks. I wasn't really trying. But yeah, the basics of how we see how life is, and that. Honestly, one way I look at it from my perspective, that especially from using the biblical text, which I intentionally want to use a lot because I want to make sense out of it as much as I can. That people themselves live a life with very low, like nowadays, that they're not out there to want to be like successful in that because life has been easy for them because everyone else has already got learned about like making money in that about how to develop themselves more in society. And it's a continuously thing to learn. Like learning back then used to be very, very potent. People like going to libraries and that and sit down and read books about, psychology or business making. Like you didn't have to go to college. You literally would just sit there and just read books. Now they demand you go to college. You could literally go online and look up business books. And learn how to be financially savvy before you even hit the age of fucking 18. Which you see nowadays, a lot of people are doing that stuff. That's why you see a lot of these kids are already fucking, kind of rich now. Yeah, they do some stupid ass shit. I know the kids that, sell fucking cocaine and shit because they knew how to do it. And they always did. They did it for like 6 months and that. They made their first, a couple $100,000 first year or so in that or whatever it is. Made the first couple $100,000. Invest that money into a business or something. And sit there, and they were smart with their money to a certain extent. Now, there's certain ways of doing it. I think technology based is a way to kind of throw life into that kind of category. It's like, okay, we could do this, but the biggest thing is, especially when it comes down to life.
Dominate!
How can you be so cruel?
Somebody keep score?
That's kind of how I see a lot of people doing nowadays. They like get normal jobs. It's like, shit, a lot of people get normal jobs much anymore. I mean, they do, but like, they don't want it. Like, I got people that work with that work for 1 week and then they go strictly on food stamps again and welfare. They go on unemployment and shit. They sit there like, oh, I want free money, but you're not working for that money.
news. Pod's now open.
Yeah, like getting these. I think it's really easy.
Everybody still
But
with
yeah,
me?
that's just like the basics of it. Is like when we talk about specific things in life that are happening with certain things that we have to really dig down and hate our what is the main issue of life and that like
What's your fire specialist?
This heat don't stop! Blah, blah, blah. Best pyrotechnics I've seen in a while.
I can't get up there. Oh, this turret.
We have a turret.
Like a little fire gun. That was just gonna kill us.
Right through the wave.
I'm down, man. Down. Too big, too slow.
On point.
Ah! He's not too bad. I just need to level his ass up. Just get some more shit. There we go. Another level. Cool. There we go. I have to wait the full time to get my stuff to
It's
recharge.
closing soon.
Because some of these turds are extremely fucking nice to have. Probably I'm gonna be facing that. Oh, I got rid of all the fucking turds.
Pod is closed for business.
Okay, this one's.
Let's hype the place.
That turret's fucking him up. Oh, he can't do nothing with that. Yeah!
Pod's open, guys.
My guns. Nice. I think I'll wait this one out. Oh.
Check it! Got an instant transportation solution, fam!
This one got fucking wrecked. That one got wrecked too, damn. What we got up there?
Armor unlocked!
I really don't think boss is really that difficult in this one. I guess you could say that they can be, but I don't think they're as hard as.
Let's dominate!
Can I get on this? I can. We'll try out these.
Give it!
Yeah, they're bringing back all the old guns from 2. Basically, they just reiterated 2 into the newer version. That's all I can really say.
Oh yeah! Turrets in the mix!
How much I have? Toxic pulled up all the way.
Collected and never leave.
That helps out a lot. Nice. Cool. Yeah, he's automatic, so he's pretty fucking sick. Slots, quick and easy. I gotta take a huge fucking piss. I'm actually gonna walk around for a little bit. I'm debating if I want to do legs today or not. I don't know how hot it is outside. Actually, talk about that. I think my watch needs to be charged. Yeah, of course it does. Charge my watch up. I barely ever use the damn thing. I only use it when I go on my walks and shit. Talk about that. I need to take a shit. Can I pause it right here? I can. Cool. Fuck yeah. Okay. Right back. Politics. Politics. Fucking politics. They're the funnest, stupidest thing to fucking listen to is people complain about politics. Like, oh my god, we're just like, oh my god. Like, oh god. It's like, oh my god.
And take care of each other out there too.
I mean, you can't make this shit up. It's always with the politics. Politics. Politics.
Who's ready to fly Scully Airline? Let's hype the place. Step aside. Guess it's too late to call for first aid.
Safe to shop.
Yeah, I might as well go get the. Let's get that. I'm gonna use those turds. These guys are fucking assholes. Out of this world, these dudes are the biggest fucking dicks.
Let's dominate!
Fucking dickheads.
Status update. 25% of Zeds eliminated.
There's all my boats. That worked.
Straight to the head. Impressive.
The store.
I see dead people. Hey man, I need room to dance.
No, don't shut it on me. Shut it on. Now I can get the gun. Good. poison is
Come to
phenomenally
Papa!
Getting ready, man. You're just getting higher. Nice. Sweet, 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 sweet. Yeah, just been go to the gym. Tell a little bit more about. I gotta drink the rest of my stuff. Everything's perking up. Carbs are kicking in. Yeah, last time I was off. Fuck, this week went by super quick. Last time if I do shit, I slept all day on Tuesday and almost all day on Wednesday. I literally just slept off and on. I was so tired, and I'm like, man, why am I just so exhausted? I tried to eat a little bit of protein because I needed to recover and that, and I went back to bed. And, I'm just sitting there, I'm thinking to myself, like, damn, dude, I'm like, what the fuck, bro? Like, I'm so damn tired. And even at work I've been trying to be more consistent on eating when I get hungry and that, because I tend to like to work really fast and that. I like to work, a little harder than some people do to a certain extent. And like, I'm just sitting there, I'm like, man, I need to eat more food and that. So I've been trying to make more food at work and that. Because being hungry sucks ass, and unfortunately, no. I can't really waste time on being hungry. Like, for some reason, the way I look at work as I want to get shit done. Like, I just want to get done. I want to go in, I want to get shit done, that, and then I want to be like, okay, I'm done. Like, it doesn't really bother me. But let's see what's happening at work in that. I talked about the other day in that, when I was streaming that, about one of the guys working that, he was talking that he's gonna be one of our new shift leads, and he was bragging to me about almost getting in a fight with some dude. I'm like, bro, I was like, I'm 36, I'm getting close to 40 years old. Just give people the heads up. I'm not the young person anymore. It's not to say I can't handle myself. Of course I can, but that's not the point. And like, so I'm sitting there. The dude's kind of, he's bragging about what he's doing in that, and like, to me, that it's like, I don't fucking care, bro. I'm like, you're doing all this stuff, and that is because you want attention, and you think that's the right amount of attention. Like, bro, you're like almost 30. I'm like, once you get out of high school, get into the real world, it's not this drama center. You get picked fights with people and that. Well, you get caught, you get put in fucking prison. I think that's what a lot of people don't understand. When you're a minor now, people do a lot of sinful things. But as they get older now, they don't respect the law anyway, because they've been doing it for so long. They got pushed away when they were younger. Now, like, oh, it's okay. You're a minor now. Stealing doesn't get you in trouble. Slap you on the wrist. You want, and you keep doing it. And you keep doing it. And then once you hit 17 or 18, that you get caught, you get thrown in jail. Like, why you get thrown in jail? That because you shouldn't be stealing. But it's like, well, I need that though. It's like, no, you don't need it. You want it. You need to work for it. Like a lot of people that I've been you know, talking to at my job, and a lot of them, these are like, this is like their first real fucking job. Like they never really worked anywhere else because they never really had to. I say, yeah, because you want to play. You want to act like you have money when you get a paycheck. They'll pull all their money out of their account, or pull enough out of it, and you know, and they act like they have money because they carry a couple $100 with them. And that they're like, "Oh, look at me, I got money." Yeah. You got a bunch of 5s and fucking 20s in there, bro. You could have 10 5s and make it look like there's a lot in there, and have 5 20s. And it looks like there's fucking, you know, anyone could be like, "Oh wow," because you got a lot packed in there. It's like having $100 bills. It'll be a lot different. A lot of people carry that on them, you know, especially if they do have money. That they sometimes people carry like, you know, $500-600 on their fucking wallet and that because they do have money to spare. So they pull out something. Oh, we're gonna go out and trip with that. I'm gonna carry cash with me. It's easier to spend, you know. But that's just the way I look at it. Like I never carry any cash on me at all. I just don't care to, because a lot of times I'm just like, it's pointless because people freak out about it, they lose it, and then they sit there and complain about it. You can't get it back. At least with your credit card or your bank card and that, if you have a decent bank, all you do is go to your bank, like, oh, my car got stolen, anything that would have been funded to that, and they normally have fraud accounts, you just get the money back. If someone steals your money and that, your money's gone. And I'm not saying that, you know, that people should steal. I don't think people should carry cash on them a lot of times because people ask for money a lot. They can't ask for your debit card because they know it's too much. I get people that, I remember people used to come up to me, like homeless people, and they're not homeless. They're just on drugs. They choose not to work for society now because they're like, oh, society's so bad and that's so this and that. Like, motherfucker, society's not bad. You're just stupid. It's like you guys are choosing to not want to be part of society. So then you get mad at society because you don't get what you want. Once again, it's like being a little kid. I don't get what I want. So they pout and cry and do all the things that are actually super poisonous to the whole world. Which is the pouting and crying and stuff and that. Yeah, if you don't believe in God, you know what really happens is you don't understand how life is supposed to be ran.
Was too pure for this world. Pew, pew, pew.
I won't be ignored.
Absolutely insane, huh? Take that, creepy can! Who wants to defy gravity?
But that's just like the way of life, and that when we look at life from an actual like wisdom perspective, that we just start to look at it like, wow, this is the reason why life is so much better now. I talk about with my financials, and that most of my financials are always good. You know, like this next week's paycheck is not going to be a ridiculous amount because hours have been dropped a little bit in that, but I'm not expecting to do anything. This is next week's paycheck. As in, this is the paycheck, and I don't spend a lot of money. You know, it's not the bill paycheck.
Nice choice.
I mean, that's how I look at it.
You've cut their numbers in half.
Holding it down.
Got him down to single digits.
These beats are too hard. Is it Friday yet? I don't know from days.
But yeah, that's what it always comes down to. And the more I read about God and that, the more I read about the biblical text, the more I understand how life is and that. When you look at how people do things, that they're
Let's wreck Zeds!
people are pretty comical when it comes down to how life actually is. I think it's supposed to be cooler tonight. Not 100% sure. Gotta charge up everything. Okay, watch that 37%. Everything's going up there. Pre-workout's starting to kick in. Can't figure out what to do. I probably just could do my full upper body today. Because I've been hitting my legs at home because I hate fucking walking. Back home after doing legs, it actually fucks with the recovery of my legs because I get really fucking exhausted.
Pod is closed up.
Yeah, these guns are cool.
Too fast to stop!
A quarter down. Let's keep this up.
We have a turret! Who rocks the spot? Extra crispy!
Yeah, I like this grenade too. This grenade is a lot better. Let's get these done.
It's mine!
He spawns in the blobs and
This place is totally wrecked! That person is a dead person. Need to reload!
it's slowly. I think it checks. Like the overtime does like 3% of his health after the whole entire thing, which is nice. Cool. Nice. Okay, let's go back to oh man. Gotta get a good stretch. Oh man. Yeah, but yeah, so anyway, so like one of the guys was like at my job and I was sitting there like kind of like bragging about stuff and them. It's like, I mean, that's, I can see why you think that's kind of cool there, but like, Like that focus heal. Heals me 40. Health kick. That's pretty good. Cool. So far so good. 55%. Take a little bit of charge on the fucking phone. That's where shit got charged nowadays. But anyway, so like, so as he was talking about that, he thought it was he was a boast, but he thought it was a boast, and like, you know, it's like when Jesus talks about pride, how Lucifer has pride in that, and how the demons have pride and rebellious, that they will rebel again because they enjoy going against what is good for them. That's literally how life is with people. Like they rather they rather rebel against what's good for them because they think it's, you know, oh, we're gonna strike, you know, fear in people's hearts, and that, like the gangsters do or the mafia does, and that, oh, if you don't pay up and that, we're gonna be coming a thump and we're gonna break your knees, or whatever type of shit they like to do, or they'll do act of violence towards people. So you know what that really does to you as a human being? It destroys the fabric of your life. Because there's going to be a time that you're not going to be doing any of that shit. There's going to be a time that you're going to destroy your fucking life by being that ignorant person. There will be a time that people are going to look at you as a pile of shit, and they're going to be like, what the fuck's wrong with you, bro? You know, you're going on 30 or going on 40. You still act like you do, and that you're 13. All this imagination and shit. It's like, you know why kids have imagination, right? Because they don't know much, so they imaginate stuff. Imaginate being heroes and being like, you know, He-Man or Superman or all these basically fake things out there. I mean, not saying that there wasn't superhumans out there back then. Yeah, there was. You know, for what God says, you know, the Bible states there was humans out there that God made impeccably stronger than the average person. There's humans out there now that are like that. There's shit ton of fucking superhuman people. They're strong and can pick up 200-300 pounds and put it over their shoulder and walk with it. There's people that grow so damn strong and that it's hard for them to work. It's hard for them to live a normal life because they're so powerful, and that, you know, when they get into the gym, they lift all these crazy weights and that. But when they get there, you know, they try to have a normal life. They can barely fit in any clothes. They gotta sit there like get their clothes size and shit. And, you know, they walk around, everyone's, you know, looking at them like this impressive thing and that, like, and to them, they're just like, yeah, it's impressive, but once you become something that other people have already done, just like being super strong or being really lean, they get the six-pack, and you get used to the tension. You get used to everything. That's what little kids always want to imagine. They imagine being super strong or super rich and stuff like that. And they have all these ideas in their head. I said, the reason why you're so excited about those things, because you haven't done any of them yet. And then what happens is, people themselves go through that stuff, and then guess what happens? They're like, man, I already done it all. I'm already a millionaire. What do I do with my money and that? Nothing. Oh, I already screwed a bunch of extremely attractive women that, and all they want is money. Like all these OnlyFans girls and that, all they want is money. All these, they're all over the YouTube area. Do I see so many OnlyFans women that they have YouTubes, they have Instagrams, they have Facebooks, they have X's, they have, you know, and they have all these fucking social media. They post all their fucking shit on all these platforms because they know that they're broke. They know they need money, but men could just work a normal job and get paid a good amount and financially themselves. But women, on the other hand, no. When it comes down to how we live life, Not all women, but the women that do these type of shit, that because they don't follow traditional, ways of living, they have to fall in line with what they know best. The easiest way, do it. Show off your tits and ass and see where it takes you. And then you have people in that, like Ellie the Empress supposedly died after a photo shoot with some fucking elephants or some shit like that. I haven't seen her post anything in like 6 months. And then occasionally, I go on her channel and that because I think she's beautiful and I give her some support. And I've watched some of her stuff, kind of. Most times just staring at her gigantic boobs are fake as fuck. But you live a fake life, you get fakeness. Everything's fake around you. Like you think a girl with, with fucking E-cup fucking titties and that has all this glorious looks, the ass, titties, everything's so fake in that. Yeah, you're gonna have a whole bunch of fucking guys that want to get in your pants. A lot of rich motherfuckers too. And then you're gonna get violated, and then you're gonna sit there and be crying about it because I didn't know it was like that. What do you mean? Once you have too much of anything, people take advantage of it. Too much money, people take advantage of it. Titties are too big, or your ass is too big as a woman in that, or you're just that fucking attractive. Anything that you have too much of, humans that are fucking pieces of shit, humans, I would say sinners, the ones that love sin, are going to take advantage of you. And they always do. I work with guys who are like that. Every time they see good-looking women, that their dicks get hard. They walk around, not like physically, but mentally. They're like, oh man, look at that, oh my god, look at that. And their minds instantly go into the sexualization that they had with someone else. And their mind's glued to that, and when they see a person that's good looking, they put themselves in the position of banging them because they already have in their head about banging someone else. All they do is just switch the person up because they already done it. And they've done it so many times that they poison their minds. Jesus wasn't being untruthful when he said, when you do stuff that's impure, it sticks with you. It truly does. And then, you get these addictions, and people are addicted to sinning. They love doing it. They love doing it so much that they don't even realize it. They think it's normal life. Yeah, because you don't know anything else. You don't know where you're going when you do those types of things. If you knew that you were going in hell and all that shit gets ripped away from you, because all that stuff, all that pleasure, all the things that are good in life were given to you by God. God created all these good things because he's graceful and he's merciless. He wants you to be happy. He wants you to be loving and caring and obedient and all these good things and that. But a lot of them are choices. Every time I tell people like you choose happiness, they said no. It's like, what do you mean? It's not a choice. I'm like, yeah, it is. What do you mean it's not a choice? Well, are you saying that when you are happy that you're not happy? Well, the world's so bad. See, that's what it is. You keep on trying to fix what Satan has created, which is the world's sin. You can't fix what Satan has rebelled against. This is why people always say the world's so bad. Then stop giving a fuck about what the world's doing. Care about what you're doing. Care about what heaven is doing for you. See, we trick our minds to think this is our world. We can't fix it. It's so terrible in that. I said it's because you're on social media. I mean, people go to social media. They have a thing going out there about lettuce. The iceberg lettuce is poisonous and all this bullshit and that. I sit there and I work at a franchise fast food place that gets lettuce, and instantly the FDA, the health department, literally came in to all the places that I work at, and I work at Taco Bell. They came in all the places that they said, "Oh, the lettuce is fine. There's nothing wrong with it." And instantly, you get all these fucking reporters because one fucking retarded dude, probably from California, which always seems to happen from. California seems to spread the most bullshit ever. They're the first one that spread a lot of shit about billionaire rich people and that because they're all a bunch of, lib fucktards that always hate the fucking rich even though they're rich. You know what it is? Just jealousy because you don't have $1 billion. It's just jealousy because you only have millions. You want billions. You do that structure of being competitive. Stop comparing yourself to others. You don't need all that. What is that going to do for you? People look at me. No one gives a fuck. These hierarchy structures don't mean a pile of dog shit when it comes down to it. As long as you have a job, as long as you live a healthy life, you pay your fucking bills and that, and you work, and you're good with your community people and that, you're nice, you're respectful and that, and you love God with everything that you can love God with, that's a great life. But the structure of life, when people always say, I always say, well, you ask someone a question about winning the lottery. So what would you do if you won the lottery? That's the first thing you can ask a lot of people to find out how their brains run. They'll be like, well, no, it's like I would probably sit there and this is what a lot of dudes say. I would get a harem of women or something bullshit like that. I would find out all the hottest girls I could have sex with and that. But that shit's been there, done that. All those girls have been fucked by billionaires. All those girls have been fucked by millionaires. All the girls that you jack off to have already been plowed by millionaire people. They may look and it's on the camera that, but I bet you 100% their coochies are not as good as you think they are. Because if they're not married, they've been plowed probably hundreds of times. Because they live a life like that. Because they're scared to get pregnant. Because they want to ruin their body. Well, that's what it is. Your sin is your flesh. Your lust of your flesh. You refuse to do the natural things that God has given you to give you actual happiness. And you choose to go down the road of doing that stuff. Now, I'm not saying everyone's going to do it. Because, you know, not everyone gets married and has kids. There's been a lot of people that don't get married and have kids. I'm one of them. But I would say for what the Bible states and what, you know, people have been doing for the last thousands of years and that, they all do the same thing. You have righteous people that fight against the wicked. You have angel, God, Father, Son, Holy Spirit fighting against Satan, Beelzebub, and fucking all the demon, all the fallen angels that. It's a constant fight. Not God for itself. Because God doesn't fight. Because they already know that God can just snap his fingers, everything can go boom. That's not the point. But it's a fight over us. And people really said, what's so special about us? That we were made in his image. See, we take the context out of everything. People think that, well, we're just human beings. We were created from poopy messes of doo-doo on the ground that transformed into fish and animals. All shit. Evolution's a fucking lie because people don't evolve that much. The only way people evolve is with technology. That's involvement. The smarter people get, the next generation is going to be smarter than that generation. Because they're going to be born with the technology that was made for the other generation. They have different ideas. They have different things to do. That's the only fundamental thing that is different. See, that's what problem it is nowadays. We live that structure where we think, you know, especially Gen Z and that, you know, they want to assume that, say, they're better than everybody else because they're born a different generation. I said, well, if you're better, that means that you should be doing better in your life. Well, but yeah, see, when you start talking this and that, you just talk. I said, I'll tell you what, the millennials, because I'm a millennial, we were born in the technology age growing. All this shit was invented by Gen Xers and fucking boomers, mostly boomers, and a little bit of Gen Xers. All the technology, all the internet, all the computers, all the PlayStations, and all the Nintendos, and all this graphic design shit was all created by the bulk of boomers and Gen Xers. We haven't done literally fucking nothing. We rode on that wave of technology. And that's how Gen Xers are. Or Gen Zs are. They're coming out, they're on the top of the wave of technology now because technology was already booming when they were born. Internet was already there, social media was already there. You know, we already had all this, you know, it's basically just entertainment stuff. It has nothing to do with the actual anything at all. That's basically what our bulk of our technology is, just entertainment and comfort, making life more comfortable for ourselves. Because, you know, when you live in too much comfort, you end up getting weaker. That's why back then people didn't live in comfort that much. You want to go out and play, and that you out, you know, you do get physical with sports and shit. No, that's how I was raised when I was younger. Now I went out there, I ran, I played around with the hose and that, I ran around and dig holes and shit, just being stupid and that. And then as I got older and I started getting into video games a little bit. But all I'm trying to say is that, like, the way that we live life now is just a wave that we've been riding for the last 60 fucking years. Social media came out, and that's what gave people the opportunities to be something else other than the traditional person. That's why you got OnlyFans. It runs with the fucking money. That's how you get all the TikTok babes and shit. All these beautiful young ladies that they're get poisoned because people are simping. And now simps are pulling back because righteous men are pulling the wicked out of them. And they're saying, hey, the reason why women are doing this towards you because you're not a man. You ponder about getting women that. The fulfillment of a woman is to be financially secure and safe. That's what they all want. None of them want to fucking work. If they do want to work, it's because they're too masculinized. But just like a lot of people saying that, there was this one guy. He's kind of like I guess you could say he's kind of like a preacher. Not, you know, he speaks a lot of truth in it. Now he's talking to this couple in that. And he's a big dude. He's really deep voiced in that. You know, he's like 6'4", 6'5". He's a big dude. He was talking to this lady in that, and he says the only reason why you're acting like that because he's not masculine enough. So what he did is he went to her ear. He said some extremely masculine shit, and the way she looked, it was like she was literally like looking at him like she wanted to fucking suck his fucking cock off, because he said really masculine fucking crap towards her. Like basically, like he's like, you need to stop being such a bitch and shut the fuck up and listen to your man. That's what you really need to hear. And the way she looked was like completely seduction. The woman submitted herself. That's what he was talking about. He's like, that's what it is. You gotta be. The woman has to submit, but the woman only submits if the man is the submissive one. If the man's the one that is being masculine, telling the woman like, hey, stop. It's not to be ignorant. It's to be. It's to throw down the law and saying, no, you're being ridiculous. It's not doing anything. So stop. But when you see men want to be submitted to, just say, they want to be, I guess, a submissive one. They want to be the one that wants to submit to a woman, which is what we call simps. Women can't be masculine because they don't have what it takes to be masculine. They can have the thought processes, they can do the practice of it, but deep inside, because they have a vagina and ovaries and that, they cannot be masculine. That's why when you look at, you know, unmasculine men, they're weak as fuck, they're fat, they're not as attractive because they're not as submissive, as in like they show more power, they show more that that almost every woman likes. But then some women take advantage of it. This is where we get the course of why God said to King Solomon about being a certain way. That there's certain women out there that are seductors. They seduct you to simp for them. Their asses are sticking out. They show off their butts and that. They say, well, I only do it for money. No, you're being a seductor because you want guys to be the ones that submit to you because you want simps, as in submit. But those guys that are simping for that ass, jacking off to you, they're not getting you. They think they can. But the real man comes in, you know, slaps that little fat little booty around that and then puts his dong in you and fucks your fucking brains out, and then you're sitting there and you instantly submit to him. I know that from experience. That's how it was with Max. She was very seductive. I didn't fall for it. And then when I was a seductor, she fell for it instantly. She instantly submitted herself to me. Weird, I know, right? Like you say, "Oh, it doesn't work." No, it does work. But when the seduction went away, she didn't want to submit herself to him anymore. Because all she cared about was being subdued. It's either one way or another. Like, she wanted me to simp for her because she had attraction towards me. She thought I was cute and that. And she was going to give me, pussy and all that stuff and that, blah, blah, blah. When it came down to it, when the roles got switched, she instantly snapped and went right for it. And it's not even one woman. They all do it. Just they wait for that man to do it. See, like the girl I work with that, the manager girl I work with, I know that she wants me to seduce her ass. I fucking know it. I see it in her fucking eyes. When we get close together and I feel that vibe and that. She wants you to pick her up and put her on the fucking wall. She 100% do. Now, would she say that to me? Fuck no, she gonna say that to me. But that mind's thinking it. I got get in the shower that when she ain't sitting in the shower that playing around with herself that. Of course she is. They can say whatever they want to say, but the truth of it is they want to do it, but they don't. They're like, oh, well, what about this? What about that? What about this? What about that? I say, yeah, what about this? What about that? What about this? What about that? But the problem is, that's what it is. Got all these things that you're thinking about. It's like, oh, what can I lose and gain from this? That's what you could say with an older woman now. It's like, what can I lose and gain from this? Like, will the sex be really fucking good in that? Will he be, a better man than the man that I'm with? And that's how they probably put it down their mind. But it's my choice to do anything or not. If I choose not to do it, and then it's because I give her respect for the relationship that she does have, which is basically what it is. Because I remember this one time that she came out of the bathroom and she unbuttoned her fucking shirt all the way, her little manager shirt. She was showing a lot of fucking chest. Obviously, her boobs are not fucking that big. Honestly, she has really tiny boobs, but she was being seductive. There's no one else there and she knew it. She's probably looking in the mirror and that, like, oh, do I look good and all that stuff and that. And she wanted to come out there and see if I would want to do anything. And I denied it because I'm just like, well, first off, you're definitely trying. Second off, I know what kind of a person that you kind of are. You want me to do sexual things with you, but I'm not going to pursue it because it's not going to financially do anything. I set the guideline. I said nothing's going to happen between, and I was being very vulgar and bold with this. I said, I don't mind the flirtation stuff and that, and we had a conversation about that. It's like, I don't mind going to that. I was like, oh yeah. I don't want to go. Yeah. Well, like basically, she was agreeing with me. There's only a certain part to take, and that's what kind of limited it to what she wanted to do. Oh no, she wanted to take it all the way. She wanted me, just get into her and that. But it's not gonna work. Even though how much that she is, honestly, she's super attractive. She's got a lot of dudes that talk about banging her and that. I flirt with her all the damn time. And that, of course, younger men and that. It happens. One man knows, other men know. Even the men that I work with look at her the same way. She got big, round, juicy little ass, and every guy looks at her as like, oh wow, that ass is nice. It's like, yeah, she's skinny with a perky fat ass, and that's all you need to be actually legitimately attractive as a woman. And of course, the smiles and that, all this stuff that'll help out too. When it comes down to a full-on attraction, but you're just talking about just pure like body attractors, yeah. So, what time is it? Yeah, my stuff's kicking. I'm starting to get a little bit of sweats. Yes, sir. It's 9:30. The fuck is the temperature today? It's supposed to be in the 70s. Why is the temperature fucking rising? Oh, it's 12 p.m. Well, that's tomorrow. Tuesday night. It's supposed to be in the 70s. Extreme heat. But yeah, it's always the ways that we look at life and that. Okay. But yeah, I know something's there, but the thing is I don't react to it. Like people do not, and you can tell. That's the reason why I kind of don't do anything. Like if she actually came up to me and said, "Yeah, it's like I'm attracted to you, Dad," I just want to tell you that because I was up front with this person. I said, "Yeah, it's like I'm attracted to you." I hinted like, "Oh, he's like you got he's like you got a really good looking body and that you keep up with yourself and that it's basically hinting that I'm attracted to you." And like I don't do anything when she gets close to me and that I let her get close to me because I enjoy it. And like and that's what it is. And like I don't like sitting there because if a person's in a relationship and they want to talk to another man and not completely, we had our parts. We had our parts where me and her were very, very submissive towards each other. We were talking about something and that, and we were having like it's kind of like a fantasy moment. It's kind of weird, as in like weird. I've never done it before, like especially not in public at work and that we were talking about something that, and she said something about coming up to my house and like getting me out because it was something to do with I had to work in earlier than the other day and that, and if I forgot she was gonna like call me or text me or whatever. And then she said, "Well, I'm gonna come up to your house." I was like, "Oh, don't come to my house and that," And we said something about we're talking about construction or something like that. So the construction was part of the fantasy. And he's talking about, I said, I started it. So you wear your Carhartt, shirt, Carhartt, jacket and that, get your boots on that. And then she continues, "Oh, I'm going to get my hard hat on that." And this is where it got to the point where the boundary was met, but then it went over it and broke it. And I was just like, "Will you do cosplay for me?" And that, and she's like, "Yeah, maybe so." And I looked at her and I had to stop talking because like me and her both were getting very seductive towards each other. That it was starting to get very arousing because I was literally pitching her because I can't say, she's a very attractive woman. That, and I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna stop right there. I was like, okay, so I'm gonna go to QT and that, because I ended up leaving and going to QT next and I'm walking off. I literally walked out and I literally had a fucking boner and I couldn't stand it. I'm like, yeah, I have to get away from you. Like that was way too fucking far. Not that I didn't like it, but like when you talk like that and you're in the, like if we were by ourselves tonight, it'd be a little bit more different because it would have got really fucking kinky. And honestly, if she would have saw me get a fucking erection over it, she would have pursued to other things, and it would have got to the point where mistakes probably would have been happening if it fell down with it. That's why I like about myself. I think every man should be like this. If there's one that's really trying to get work at that, and you get like submissive with them, and you guys actually get really fucking aroused, don't bang them. Just don't bang them. Like the arousal's there, it's fun to have because it makes you happy as fuck because you see a girl that you really like and then you're like, man, she's so hot. And you think about it, don't push it too far. If she doesn't have a relationship, it's a little bit different story, but she does have a relationship, and that's when you kind of have to be like, okay, I got to be mature about this. Because she don't care, because most relationship that most of these women tend to have, they don't like them. They get dull and boring. And that's what it is that, that I talk about with many people now. Like, I got a lot of work girlfriends. I always do. Like, one of the other chicks I talk, that I fuck around with, I fuck around there all day long and that. Because, it's not that I find her attractive, she's just really fun. We have that, like, jokingly kind of, like, fun relationship. We both are, like, semi-attracted to each other, but we have that semi-flirtatious fun. So I'll be sitting there and that, we play with each other's, like, communication with our minds on something that to be fun. I noticed that she fucking likes it a lot, and she probably sits there and it makes her happy. And that I said that's the whole point. Happiness is a choice. I could choose to fuck around with someone or not. If I find someone that's attracted to me, or if I'm attracted to them and they like me back, just say I could play around with them because they're gonna want it anyway. They're gonna want to play around with it. Obviously, if it gets too much, it's gonna get to the point where it's gonna get annoying. But like, there's little things that I do in that, which I find actually quite hilarious. At because this lady's, she's cool. She has attitude problem with that, but the attitude's just it's just this like the knowledge that she has. The wisdom's she hasn't found the wisdom peak yet, so she acts kind of like a little kid or a high schooler or something like that. But like she's hugely perverted, not like like she gets banged by a bunch of dudes. I'm talking about like mentally, like they talk pervertedly and that, like talk about like this, that, or they mention it. They don't full on say like cock and dick and shit like that. They'll mention it in ways that it becomes more hysterically funny. So like it happened the other day and that I was sitting there and we had one of the, I had a really like hard bread. Basically we call it a chalupa, whatever the fuck it is. It's a flat bread that we curve and cook. And it was, it was hard in that. So I hit it up against the thing, and then I'm like, man, this is fucking hard as fuck. And then I looked at her, and I said, this is how you like it, huh? And I was just being hilarious in that. And she looked at me, and she knew exactly what I was talking about because, well, she's a pervert. So we agree on our conversation. And it was fucking hilarious, too. And then I went back, and I played out just right. And then, and for some reason, she brought me into it, as in, like, talking about me. I'm like, no, I'm not talking about me. No, that's not the point. The point is I'm being. That's when it got to the point where it's like, okay, now you're involving me. It's being kind of personal. But I was thinking like, okay, why the fuck are you thinking about me? Like, it went to that, and then I went back. I cooked me a chalupa. It was really soft. As you know where the joke is going. And I came up to her and I said, this is me, and it looped down like a limp. And she looked at me and she started laughing. And then she was telling her sister, and I said, I filled it up with beef. And honestly, because we had to do an order and that's why I got it in the first place. And then she's like, oh my God. She called on her sister and that she works with. And she's like, oh my God, look at this and that. And then looked at that. And she's like, what happened to her? She was like, well, I filled it up with beef. And she started laughing her ass off because she was talking. It was basically talking, I guess, and her mind was talking about intercourse, but I wasn't really going there. I was just kind of like, I knew what she was going to think about it, so I had to say it because I knew she was going to laugh about it anyway. And then she laughed about it, and she's like, she walked away like, oh my God, like, dude, girls, like, you are so mind flustered over like thinking probably about, I guess, banging me that it's becoming kind of obvious, and it's not me. I just know how she acts towards me because I'm not anything like that towards her. I don't really look at her like that, but the vibe that she gives me is very like submissive. Like she wants to submit to it, but like she can't because she has a man. But she probably ponders about it because God forbid, we already know women all talk about how the guys that they want to bang. All girls talk about this shit. They always talk about the guys that want to bang at work and that because they work with them so damn long and that. And got, especially guys that are mature, say like me and I kind of just like play it out as a joke because it is to me. It's just a haha. I had I've seen plenty of girls naked and that, and had my time grabbing on tits and ass and all that good stuff and that, and sucking on titties and shit. But like to me, like it's not anything that I haven't experienced, so I don't look at it from that perspective because I don't really give a shit. But it's funny, it makes the person happy, so talk about it, And so when it comes down to it, now these are all speculations, but you don't honestly agree with someone about something like that unless it's something in your mind that you're thinking of. And that's how I normally that's how I normally get to know people or play on people is by how they are. So I play with how they are. They say, well, you're like this because you're like that. I'm mimicking what you are, so we can have a conversation and have fun with it. That's what it always comes down to. That's how I've always been my whole entire life. It's not, I'll still act like myself, but the conversation kind of changes. I'll think of things that you might like, and that because it's just how it works when you talk to people. It's like I said, you guys are not going to talk about psychology and Jesus all day long because that's what I actually like to do. I like to talk about the Bible, and I like to talk about something. So I have to interact with how you are. I tell people it's like I have to dumb myself down because you guys couldn't comprehend half the shit that I say. Because when I really do talk in that, people just sit there and listen because they have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. Talk about demons and spirits and angels and God and that and Jesus and the Father and the Holy Spirit and that. Talk about how they interact in our lives and that. People don't want to understand that shit because they don't know. They're more or less likely because they're stupid. You know, it's just how it works. So the way I interact with it is based upon the person itself. I'll go on my stream and talk about all this stuff and that. It's not who I actually am. It's just stories. It's just stuff that happens. It happens a lot. And like, so I interact with people based upon that. But truth of it is, you know, Jesus is everything. You know, that's why I'd rather talk about, you know, God than play my games because these games are fun. But like, we're so driven into what the world's given us, we're not really thinking about what God's given us. Even though God gives us all the stuff in the world because everything was created through Him, we don't look from that perspective. And a lot of people don't. They look at it from like other perspective. I'm like, well, that's because of the way you live your life. But yeah, that's basically what it is. Anyway, well, I gotta get going on that. Go to the gym and shit. I gotta take another piss. It's waiting for my shit to charge up. Okay, well, you guys have a good one. God bless.